Hello everyone and welcome. This is going to be episode 2 of a new player's guide that I'm working on for the game League of Legends. This video in particular, I'm going to be going over the basics of the jungle role, but before we begin, it has actually come to my attention that while I talked about the basics of the game in the last video, I left out the ranking system as well as the leveling system, which are pretty important details. So, starting off with the ranking system, League of Legends has 9 different ranks, each with a numbered sub-rank with 4 being the lowest and 1 being the highest. So the main ranks are going to be Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Master, Grandmaster, and Challenger. The last 3 ranks, Master through Challenger, they all don't actually have that sub-roll, that 4 to 1. Instead, they give you a rank based on based on their ranking points, something that they call LP. So if I go into here and I show you the top solo/duo players, you'll see that there is no Challenger 4, right? It's just Challenger. So if you look over here, this is the points. Like this guy, TSM Sword, he has 1,000 points. Essentially the way that this works is there's a time limit to get as many points as possible, and those at the top of each ladder and those at the bottom of each ladder will move around. So like these top 6 players here, they're likely to move up to Challenger when the ranks reset, because they have more points than these bottom couple players. And same thing with Master. If you look at the top here, these guys all have more points than the bottom of the Grandmaster, so they're likely to move up. The way that the rest of the ranks work, though, is say you're in Gold 3, like myself. I have 0 points, yay. Your goal is to get to 100 points, and then you play a couple of promotional games. It's best 2 out of 3, so if you win 2 of them, you move up, and I would become Gold 2. See, like this guy here is in the promotional series. He won 1 of his games. He needs to win another one, and then he'll move up to Gold 1. Moving divisions itself is a little bit harder. It goes best 3 out of 5 instead of 2 out of 3 when you get to like Gold 1 to move up to Platinum. So that's going to be the basics about how the ranking system works. Now let's talk about the leveling system a bit. So before, League of Legends had a separate summoner level different from your in-game level. So if you're very new to the game, don't think that because you're level 18 in the game, you're now summoner level 18. That isn't how that works. So if you look up here, you'll see my summoner level as well as the summoner icon. I'm level 81. Before, the cap was level 30. So that is where they put the ranked at. You go ahead and you reach summoner level 30 and you have like 20 different champions, I believe, and you can queue up for a ranked game. Now, with the summoner level being uncapped, each time that you level up, you can get a champion capsule, which can be used to get new champions, or you can disenchant the champion shard if you already have it for blue essence. Just right here, it's the League in-game currency. And what you can do is if you have a bunch of blue essence, like I do, you can go to the shop, and you can potentially buy a different champion that you want to buy, or you can save it up. The way that the champion shards work, and I actually don't have any champion shards, but effectively it would show up in this little section right here, and you could buy them at a reduced price because you have the champion shard. So for example, going back into my shop, let's say I had a Yumi champion shard. She is worth 6,300 blue essence. So if I had a Yumi champion shard, it would probably only be something like 5,800 blue essence. You essentially save a bit of blue essence if you go through that. So now that I've talked about the basics of League outside of the game, let's get into the jungle portion. So in this game, I'm duo with my friend Darius. He's actually Blacksteel Outlaw. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at the champion select screen, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to go. I'm the jungler, I'm the Kha'Zix right there. So what I want to do is I want to look at each lane's matchups and see who's going to need help or who I want to get ahead. In this case, I feel like the top lane matchup, Darius into Aatrox, he can at least go even or at the very least just not die, which is beautiful. That's what I want. So that means I'm going to be looking more towards the bottom and mid side of the map where I can help my Jhin fight Caitlyn, or I can help the Annie take care of the Heimerdinger. So that's going to be my plan going forward, is I want to try and play to the bot and mid side of the map, and try and help them get ahead. Okay, now that we've gotten into game, I'm going to go ahead and level up your Q as Kha'Zix, because you want to make sure you have your claws ready. It's really good for single target clears. Then I go ahead and I buy the Hunter's Talisman, because once you hit level 2 off of your red buff, you usually go with the Void Spikes, which the Void Spikes will heal you as long as you're standing up close, as well as the Talisman will heal you when you hit more things. It's really good for the AoE clears. So Kha'Zix likes the Talisman so that he can take his Raptor Cap easily. Here I'm just explaining to my team what I had realized in Champion Select, how I want to try and ignore top side for the most part, and I want to focus on the mid and bot side of the map. And here I noticed that they're going for a level 1 invade, which, lots of fun. I love it when they try and invade at level 1. My Jhin gets first blood, that's nice, but now I'm on the really bad side of things. At this point, I wouldn't want to take a 1-for-1 trade. See, I get out and I go back. Then my Darius decides he wants to try and go in. I don't really know about this. I don't have a gap close anymore, and I don't have flash. So I just kind of have to run at them, which is how I end up dying right here. Although now at that point, that's a 2-for-2, 2-for-3, with Jhin dying. Go ahead and buy another potion. This kind of forces me into a leashless red buff. Yeah, so they ended up cleaning it up and going 4-for-4, meaning we killed 4, they killed 4. And I do get a little bit of help with this buff. You know, Jhin comes over and smacks it twice. And then in comes Diana. Yeah, the invade just keeps going. I love it so much. So I figure because we're already on this side of the map, and you can see that she only has a red buff, like fuck it, let's go take the blue buff. But now my team decides they want to back off. Which is kind of irritating, that means I'm wasting even more time. I ignore the Raptor camp because I am so behind and I need to be on the top side of the map because Aatrox has been alone for so long. Aatrox, even though my Darius got a kill, Aatrox is now ahead of Darius because he's had so much time to just free farm. He's ahead in both gold as well as levels. Even though my plan is to try and help my mid and my bot side get ahead, that plan hinges on the fact that my top side is at least going to go even, which right now it's not. So this means that I need to be towards the top side to try and even out that matchup so that I can continue with my plan of playing towards the mid and bot side. So I hit level 3, I see that Aatrox is still decently pushed up. So I go ahead and I let him know that I'm coming in for a gank. Here I do some decent damage, I avoid the root, that's why I walk sideways, and I get Aatrox flash. It's not a kill, but at least I got a flash out of him, and my Darius now has a massive health advantage. So he should be good to at least play forward in the lane a little bit and get some experience. I see that Aatrox is playing aggressive, so I decided to kind of look back and see if I can't play towards top side again. Maybe utilize his flash, which is down. But nah, it looks like he's playing just safe enough that I wouldn't be able to get in and hit him before he goes under tower. So realizing that there's really nothing else that I can get topside, I decide to take the Scuttle Crab mid lane and to look at the Heimerdinger. See, bot side just got a kill, so that's neat. See that Annie almost has her stun ready, and now it is ready. So all I need is Annie to go in and stun the Heimerdinger, and then we can go in and get a kill. So I decided to chase this because we do have bot side pressure. I do see that the Diana is down there, but also bot lane. Yeah, my bot lane has a numbers advantage. So I feel comfortable in pursuing this. After pushing the Diana out, I realized that they actually don't have any pressure on the bot side of the map anymore. Diana has to go back because she's low. Heimerdinger has to go back because he's low. And we have a 4-man advantage down here. So I go, and I see that bot lane is pushed up really far for some reason. So I just go and get my Jhin a double kill for free because they want to push up super far. So now my Jhin is decently far ahead, or he's at least even. Which is nice, that's what I'm looking for in this game. I want to try and help my Jhin carry. So I realize I'm having a hard time catching up to people, which is why I go with the blue smite. If I smite an enemy now, I steal some of their movement speed. And I realized that Diana would have had to go back after me, which means that she's going to be on the map after me. So I'm going to look to try and set up this dragon soon. Although it's slightly awkward because my Annie did just die mid lane. So I just go for the quick Krug clear. And I clear my Raptor camp. Right now, I don't have a ward up, and I don't have any vision, so I don't know where anyone is currently. So it's hard for me to step up and to try and take any neutral objectives like the dragon. And here, even taking the Scuttle Crab in the river is kind of risky. Bot lane has more pressure because they just killed my bot lane. That's why I place a ward right there. Anytime you do something slightly risky where you might get caught out, you want to place a ward down so that you can at least have some sight, be prepared to flash, or in my case, jump away with my E. I realized though that with me standing over by bot side of the river, they're not moving at all. Which means that they don't have any sight, so I go down and I go for a gank. This time I pick up one of the kills and I give the other one to the Jhin. And then from here, Yumi and I will go and take care of the dragon. Now that I've created that bot lane pressure, I can now freely come up and take this ocean drag. So there, I see that Aatrox just killed my Darius, which sucks. Again, my entire plan was Darius just go even. And now Aatrox is winning. So I need to go and rotate my way back up towards the top side of the map. So here I'm just doing some camp clears. I don't know what the hell bot lane was doing all game, but they really did just keep trading kills back. It was really weird. Normally if you get your ADC ahead or your bot lane carry, they can at least win the lane. But yet, this Jhin just kept trading kills back and forth with Caitlyn. So here I realized that I don't have a whole lot of health, and Aatrox goes missing. So I go and I scoop up some of the honey fruit so that I can heal up a bit. And instead of going top lane with the Darius, I decided we should go mid lane and go against the Heimerdinger. Again, Annie sets up a beautiful stun and she gets the kill. Yeah, sadly, from here the game just kind of goes downhill. It was hard for us to have any sort of lane presence against their comp. Anytime any of us stepped forward to even kind of pressure the wave, we just lost our entire health bar, which, lots of fun. Jhin was being toxic the entire game. I love when people try and be toxic. So we just, we cut to the end there. So again, this game I'm also duo with Outlaw. I'm the Olaf, I'm the second pick to the right, and he's the Garen top lane. He's playing Garen into Darius, so I realized that Garen wins that matchup if he's played correctly. So again, I'm looking to try and play towards the mid, maybe top side, but again, I'm going to be trying to help Ezreal get ahead. Okay, so we get into the map. So again, Olaf is one of those champions that he likes to have lifesteal, and he can hit multiple targets at once, which is why I like to go Hunter's Talisman on him instead of the Hunter's Machete. Machete is more for the people that can only do single target. The Talisman gives you healing back on multiple targets. I start W so that I can be a little bit safer in my early clear, be nice and healthy.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And now we just wait and hope we don't get invaded on, because that's always a fun time. So it's at this point that I notice that Nami doesn't have a support item. She instead started with boots and a fairy charm, which means that she isn't gonna get like any gold in the lane, and she also isn't gonna have any wards for the lane. So she panics and goes back right away, and she sells everything. I decided to skip my Gromp here and go for Wolves because I need to get to topside pretty quickly. I want to try and influence that. If you look, Echo actually died in his jungle, so he's going to be super far behind. So here I'm taking my red buff. If you look topside, you see that the enemy Darius is pushed in, which is nice. That's what I want. It's really hard to gank early game if your lanes are all pushing in. If your lane is pushing against them, it means you have to go underneath their tower, and there's very few champions that can do that effectively early game. So here I'm level 2, but I have a slow not only on my Q, but also on my auto tag right now. So I walk up, I land the free slow. If you look, he had to burn both of his cooldowns already. I hit level 3 on the wave. I need to flash away, because Garen wasn't there with me. And here I'm thinking that's kind of a botched gank, you know, we fucked up a lot. We both blew our flash, and he blew both of his cooldowns. So like, it's not the worst, but it could have been better. And then I see that Garen gets the kill anyway. So here I set up, and Galio decides to go in for some reason. And I just kind of run him down. I see that Echo is fighting him topside, and I decide to go up and see if I can't help him. Echo had to flash away. And I'm really amazed that minion auto didn't actually kill him. There, I had to just barely step forward too much. I couldn't snipe him and get the kill, but I was able to come down and take his blue buff, which is really nice. It's always a good feeling when you can invade the enemy jungle and take away a buff or two. I see again, Darius is pushed up, and my Garen is fighting, or yeah, he TP'd back to lane. So I walk up, and Darius for some reason thinks he can fight me. Don't really know why he thought that. So I just get a free kill on him, go back to base, and I'm looking pretty good right now. I have a couple of early ganks that were messed up, but overall it's not too bad. And this is actually currently a 4v5. If you look, Nami's in base. She disconnected earlier. We just kind of have to deal with the fact that she's not really in this game. Which is also why I'm kind of ignoring bot lane. As much as it sucks to be in the 1v2 lane, it's also really hard for a jungler to come down and help you, because that means at best you're looking at a 2v2. Junglers are supposed to help try and turn the tide, not make it even. Luckily though, he's an Ezreal, so he can play kinda safe and also poke them from a range. Here you see me looking to set up the dragon, maybe a bot lane gank if I can. I decided to go for the bot lane gank. We might be able to get something here. So here my Ezreal dies, which kinda sucks, and I have nothing else for the Twitch. So that means we trade 1 for 1, but then Twitch comes back in for some reason. Yeah, I don't really know why Twitch came back in for that. From here again, I pick up the honey fruit to try and get some health back. And I see that my blue buff is up, so I go and I take blue buff. Ezreal decides to come over and help me get the dragon, because he wants the wave to be pushed up against him so that he can farm safely underneath tower. So if he goes to lane right now, that means he's underneath their tower and farming, meaning he's very easy to gank. And then not only is he in a 1v2, but he's also potentially in a 1v3 if the enemy jungler comes down. So that's good for him to recognize that he has some downtime that he needs to utilize. So again, I continue farming. My Garen is winning solo topside, so I call him down so that we can go and take the rift. In here, I feel like we can take this, but I get slowed really bad, and then the Soraka ultimate keeps the Echo alive. And then from here, we're both just caught out because we went too deep, and neither of us actually picked up the Rift Herald, so all we got from it was the gold, which that kind of sucks. Yeah, there's me realizing that we didn't pick it up. So I run right over, and I hope to God that it's still up. Echo seems to be playing topside to try and help out his Darius. I realized that even without the Rift Herald, that me and Garen can pressure this and maybe take a plate or two. And he just decides that he wants to go ahead and dive this. I realize I'm already lost for that plate, so I just go ahead and die. Here I see that the dragon is coming up soon, so I want to play towards the mid and the bot side of the map so that I can be over there for the dragon. Ezreal is asking for help, but again, it's really hard for me to actually get down there and help him. Most of the time, when you gank in a 1v2 situation and make it a 2v2, you usually trade 1 for 1. Meaning, even if I go down there and help him get a kill, he's probably going to die. And sometimes the best thing to do is just to leave it and have him play safe. But I decided to go down there and help him anyway. Twitch went invisible, and I see that he's right up there.
An ally has been slain.
See, so I wasted so much time running down there, got nothing out of it, and then my mid laner died. I saw that Galio was teleporting to the mid lane tower. And with the enemy jungler dead, I just kind of want to go in and kill this dragon. I know we're not really going to get a bot lane priority this game. He goes for an over the wall of steel, but honestly, you're not going to steal a dragon from Olaf. At this point, I want to just go back to farming, but my team wants to fight. Yeah, and at this point, like, I'm half health. He's going in against 2, 3 people.
Ally has been slain.
Could I have helped him? Maybe.
Ally has been slain.
But I think it was dumb to keep fighting that. I think we should have just gone back and tried to play this differently. I do get a nice pick on the enemy jungler though. Then I go and I clear up this mid lane wave. I get kind of bored, so I just go 1v or 1 for 1 with the enemy mid laner. There's a second Rift Herald up, so I'm looking to try and take that if I can. So I go topside and I start farming some more. My team picks up an easy 2 kills, and then yeah, we just roam over, get the Rift Herald. He wanted to fight me for the Rift, but I took it from him. So it's usually good to have the Rift Herald on your jungler, because I might go and drop it somewhere where I think it'll be good. Like right now, we have no enemies in mid lane. Dropping the Rift Herald mid lane and cracking open this mid lane tower is massive for us. Echo tries to go ahead and stun me, which is why I use my ultimate there so that I can't get stunned. Then I get slowed for about a year and a half, and I die. But honestly, a kill for a tower, and then I'm pretty sure top lane gets a tower here too. Or he gets really close to getting the tower. So that's a kill for 2 towers. Yeah. All because they wanted to send 5 people to go and kill me. I'm okay with that. Sometimes dying is okay as long as you know like what you're trading for it.
An ally has been slain. Double kill.
So at the end of the day, they killed 2 of us, we killed 4. We killed 2 towers, they killed 1. We still come out ahead in that extended trade. Here I see that the dragon's coming up soon, so I just run right down to the Infernal Drake. As you see, the Nami is back, but she is severely underleveled and can't really do a whole lot. Garen teleports for this. I'm not entirely sure we needed him, but he can at least come down and help us pressure the spot lane tower, the last of the outers that we have. Because then we can safely look to start pushing into the enemy jungle and getting vision in there. So yeah, he just comes down and helps us nuke this tower real quick. Yeah, for some reason Galio decides to just, like, come in on top of all of us. I land a slow from over the wall, and that lets the Garen go in and get the kill. Now we have a wave pushing top lane, we're pushing mid lane, and we have a wave pushing bot lane. At this point, I go ahead and I say we should back up. We end up taking some of the enemy jungle. Taking the enemy jungle is always good when you're ahead, because that means you're denying them gold. They're not able to push up and take their own jungle because it's already in your own pocket. I think it's a little bit too early for us to take Baron. I have a decent bit of magic resist, but I don't have, like, any armor right now. I do see Echo here though, and the way he ultimates, like, he has to ultimate behind me and go run into my team. And as you see, like, I'm so tanky, I take so long to die, but I went way too deep there. But I don't know, I feel like if we would have pushed that and actually fought that, like, I had twitched out of the fight. If my team had pushed forward and helped me do damage, because at this point, I'm a full tank Garen, full tank Olaf, I don't do a whole lot of damage. But yet I'm still just shredding their carries, because they can't do any damage to me. I realize I'm having issues getting onto the enemies, so I go ahead and I start building a Righteous Glory, which will give me some movement speed, which is very needed.
Unstoppable.
At this point, we kind of need to either do the Baron or just get away from it and reset our waves. And I think the correct call is just to get away from it. Go ahead and farm up, get some more gold. Because as it is now, we just keep trading a couple of kills at the Baron pit and then everyone backs away. Darius goes ahead and he flash ghosts out of the lane. And yeah, I just kind of push through them. I'm keeping the enemy wave from hitting our wave so that our wave stays alive longer, as well as I'm lifestealing off of it. At this point, we need to be careful, because if we stay here, we can potentially just die. At this point, I'm tanky enough that I don't even care about the tower shots too much. So as jungler, it's good to be there for your team to take objectives, but also sometimes it's you need someone to proxy, someone who can just kind of play the defense game and keep people away. And I realized that my team can take the objectives themselves, and I'm decently strong. I'm pretty hard to kill, I have a nice bit of lifesteal, and I can literally just go in and 1v1 just about anyone in the game right now. So I decided to let my team go ahead and take the dragon, but I'm still playing towards the bottom side of the map there so that I can keep the enemy team away. And here I decided that I can go ahead and take this tower, because they're all mid lane. Me being bot lane is going to give the enemy team a false set of confidence, so that they can go ahead and take the Baron. For my team, even without me, is stronger than their team, so I realized that all I have to do is just keep pushing this bottom wave, and I can potentially threaten an inhibitor, and they either need to commit or they blow a teleport. In which case, now I'm in a 1v1. Literally, all I have to do is fight this. And now he blew a teleport, and he died. And I'm pretty sure I still get the inhibitor tower out of this. So I don't get the inhibitor tower, but I get pretty close. But then because they had to send 3 people down to me and one of their team members is already dead, that means we have 4 people accounted for. My Garen just shoves up a different lane and gets another tower. So even though I didn't get the tower that I wanted, my team still got a tower out of that. See, and that's kind of what I was talking about when I said Garen takes no skill. Just walks onto that poor Twitch, presses E, Twitch dies. But yeah, from here I see that they have 3 dead. They don't really have a whole lot that they can do. My team can potentially take this tower, maybe the inhibitor, but we should be looking for Baron right now. Just because they will have Twitch up soon, and late game Twitch, one of his favorite things to do is just to press his ultimate and then right click. If you look, you can see the enemy team is kind of stuck in their base right now dealing with the super minions, and we just get the free Baron. That's kind of a weird thing with my Righteous Glory, where it's actually slowed me down. Like, it made me slower when I used it. So here, we should have backed off. We should have backed off when the Darius showed up. But we we both thought that we could do that. But at this point, I don't think it matters too much. I'm pretty sure our team still just kind of wins the game off that. I try and give the enemy team a free win.
Has destroyed a turret.
But yeah, that's the game.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
At this point, we have 3 inhibitors. Even if they all did spawn somehow and stopped us, it's over. So, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you go ahead and you like, comment, subscribe, give some feedback. I wanted to do this video more as not like a teaching video, but more like this is what goes through my mind as I'm jungling video, so that it'll help some of the newer people go like, okay, so what he's saying makes sense, or this dude's kind of dumb, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do for this video. And as you see, Olaf just in general is kind of disgusting. It's mostly tank, and I was top damage on my team. Look at that. Riot, please fix your game. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.